All right, this is ridiculous. Let's talk about the onside kick, but I'm going to be muted the whole time because of this dude above me who's hammering with the might of 1,000 hammers. Okay, was it the right call to go for the onside kick, and why?
Okay, so I'm not going to say it was the right or wrong call. I'm going to explain the reasoning behind why they did the onside kick. Now, you have to understand that they are making that decision before they actually see the onside kick. So nobody's calling an onside kick if Robbie Gould is just going to pass it to Richard Rodgers and then you're just going to give them the ball at the 45. That's not going to be the call. They are of the mindset that Robbie Gould had this real drop kick going. I was of that mindset when he was telling Bill Vinovich and the umpire and all of them, hey, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. I thought he had something in his bag, but he had nothing. Okay. So the Niners have been punted to 10 times this year, okay? Actually, let me go back a little bit. The situation in the game basically is that they have the 2-minute warning and 2 timeouts. It's very simple. If they stop them in 3 downs, they get the ball back. If they don't stop them, they lose. This is the situation whether the Eagles have the ball at the 20 or whether they have the ball at the Niners 45. So the logic here is that basically, look, Mitch Wishnowsky has a touchback percentage of 61%. Let's say he kicks a touchback and the Eagles start with the ball at the 25. Let's say that you give up 3 yards on that drive. Let's even give it 5 and you started at the 30. The Eagles punter, Cameron Johnston, averages 50 yards a punt. He will flip the field position and give you the ball at your own 20. The Niners punt returners average just 7 yards a punt return and they've only returned 50% of their punts. Trent Taylor is a fair catch master. There's a good chance that they would, and Shanahan probably would tell them to fair catch that punt to not risk a turnover with either of them. They ended up getting the ball at their 12, so they got an extra chance at the ball for a difference of 8 yards. That's why they went for the onside kick.
All right, I appreciate your explanation, and it's a fantastic one. And I'm not saying you're wrong because that's probably exactly what Shanahan would say. What I would say is, I would rather live with allowing my punt returner to catch the ball and run for 7 yards than to go for an onside kick. I think the odds of catching the ball at the 20 and running to the 28 are much higher than recovering an onside kick. And if you get to the 28, that's a difference of 16 yards. That's a first down and a half. And I think that's significant because if you had an extra 14 yards, maybe that last play's makeable. That's all I'm saying. So maybe. I think you described Shanahan's reasoning, but I disagree with Shanahan's reasoning.
Maybe. The maximum they would have gotten, given with all the numbers that everything went exactly, is the extra 15 yards. But there's also the factor of if the guy's booming the ball from the 25, there's a good chance he gets a good hold of the punt and he whacks it. If he's punting from midfield, that's a tough punt because he has to be able to control it. So he's kicking the ball only 30 yards because his goal at that point is to not kick a touchback. So you're giving yourself an extra chance that way, too, in the case that maybe he kicks a touchback, and now this entire conversation is moot.
Well, look, I tried my best to argue with you, but I was an English major. I do not understand statistics and probability, so I'm just going to defer and say that this is above my head, and I agree. You're right. So thank you. We should take some questions. I love how stone-faced Vish is all the time. I try to, do my, straight-faced humor, and Vish is like, yeah, I appreciate it. No, I'm just playing. And you don't get any of my references because you were born in 2000?
No, 99. I'm still.
Oh, my bad. I wouldn't put that on you. My bad. You're not a 2000. You're not generation. Are you technically a millennial or are you Generation Z?
I have no clue.